Oh my gosh, it is, right? The allergies are bad.
It is bad. I think that's what gave me, I'm really allergic to mold.
Mhm. Well, the allergies are bad. Electricity is down in Shreveport.
Because of the storm?
Yeah, there was a storm, and so the power line went down. But I tell everybody, at least it wasn't the transformer. You know, once the transformer goes down, it's. But I don't know. The power line may be worse because then you're trying to figure out, you know, I guess if you put the line up, what's happening.
It's the same storm that hit Austin, isn't it?
Mhm.
Right.
So my mom doesn't have electricity, and everything in the refrigerator is gone. And so I keep getting text messages when it will be up. So the first text message was yesterday saying, oh, it'll be up by 10 p.m. And now it's 10 p.m. So we shall see. All right, everyone, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to let me know that you are here. If I don't know you're here, then there's going to be a problem. A warrant may be issued for your arrest. Today is Tuesday. My understanding, we have a light docket. Whenever we have a light docket, it turns into a long days at.
Yes,
I know you're new here, but that's what usually happens. I think Travis can tell you that.
yes, sir.
All right. Miguel Rios. And we're not starting off great today. Timothy Hernandez. Chris Lynn is in custody. Carlos Madrigal of the family Madrigal. David Duenas. How do you pronounce your last name? Oh, I think I did it okay. Nicholas Ramos is in custody. Carl Jones. Thank you. Delina Glass. Delina Glass. Gilbert Perryman. Thank you. In custody, we have Norma Elizondo. Elizabeth Maciel. How do you pronounce that last name?
Isn't it correctly to
Oh, Elizabeth Maciel. In custody, Joseph Espinoza. Virginia Cerna.
Here.
Roberto Maldonado.
Here,
Thank you. Oh, you brought him in just in time. Have a seat. Jennifer Cano. Claude Cunningham. Thank you. Mariano Barnes. Victor Garcia, custody. Angel Orozco. Nieves Carrillo. Isaac Brandley. Giancarlo Armstrong. Eros Rodriguez, custody. Is there anyone who's present and your name was not called? All right, what's your name? Do you know your case number or SID number? Do you know who your attorney is? What is their name? All right, she will speak with you. Anyone else? All right, these are the rules. I'll just have a seat, she'll get with you. These are the rules of the court, everyone. To my left, files for criminal trial division. Criminal trial division is right there. To my right, files for family violence. Family violence files are right there. There's an uptick in COVID, flu, and leprosy. So just grab your file, place it on the table. The prosecutor will call you to confer with you in the order in which they receive your file. Inmates are back here. Ask the deputy to bring out your client as your client is in custody. Do not leave once your client has been requested, because if you do, you're being selfish, because the deputies are in charge of security and they can only have so many inmates out here at a time. To the back, that's Vashon's desk. Do not sit on her desk. Do not put papers on her desk. Do not turn your back to her. Here is the court reporter. That is her office. That is her desk. Do not lean on her desk. Do not put your paperwork on her desk. If you do, and you damage something, her equipment, it costs over $10,000. It's Pottery Reborn over here. If you break it, if you damage it, you bought it and you will pay the $10,000 for it. Deputies will bring inmates out from that area. Do not be in front of their line of vision. Again, they're in charge of security. If something goes down, I've told them if an attorney is in your line of sight, oh, well, because they're in charge of security. And I told them I will write an affidavit saying that I told all the defense attorneys and everybody, do not stand in front of the deputy's line of sight. Do not approach the court coordinator for a continuance, asking to leave, asking that your case can be reset. I'm the only person that can give that to you. If your client wishes to communicate with me in a language other than English, yes, we need an interpreter, whether you speak the language or not. Once you request an interpreter, do not leave. There's a limited number of interpreters, and they will come in. If you're not here, if you're not ready, they're going to leave to go somewhere else, and we're going to be waiting for them. Does everybody understand? All right. The other thing, if you have completed your conference with the state, if you're doing a plea agreement, whatever you're doing, just approach the clerk, ask her to place your file here. She will place your file here. I will call it in the order of appearance. The only exception is if someone has an interpreter, because again, we have a shortage of interpreters. Now, today is Tuesday. We survived Monday. It's going to be a great Tuesday. We have a short docket this morning. So what does that mean when we have a short docket? Are we going to get out of here early? No. 9 times out of 10, when we have a short, I'm sorry, Deputy Laura, but I'm just speaking truth. Usually when we have a short docket, this usually ends up being the long docket. So let's work together to make this short docket be a short docket. And sir, are you on the docket? Yeah, what's your name? DeLawrence who? Do you know your case number, SID number? All right, see, and I haven't done statistics on this, but men never know their case numbers. They never know their SID numbers. They never know their attorney's name. Women always do. Thank you for, you almost, I was like, is she gonna mess up this streak? All right, we're gonna speak to you in just a minute, Mr. Bell. Have you had any contact with your attorney at all? Who's your attorney? Is it Andrew Priest or Andrew Priest? All right, we're going to call you up in just a minute. Everyone, please confer with kindness in your heart, and it will be a great day. So please confer.
Oh, I think yeah, they were here.
Yes.
Judge, I was here for Johnny Aguirre, but they're telling me that it's not set until the 19th. I was
Yes.
covering for Renee. Also, the lady that was in the courtroom, her attorney is not a public defender. So I'm not sure if you want me to stick around and talk to her, Judge.
Yeah, who's her attorney? All right. Yeah, if you could, let's see. Yeah, let's see. If it's a night mag case, then she's not going to be here until it's indicted.
Sure, okay.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course, Judge.
Hello,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning.
I'm here on Mariana Barnes.
Mhm.
She was indicted on the 31st of August. The prosecutor has now,
Have you asked them to grab the file, Mr. Young?
I have not. See, I wasn't listening to you.
See,
Mariana Barnes.
Mariana Barnes, come forward. And Carolina, she has two files. Mhm. You gave me 766. She has, oh, no problem. All right, state. And John, you're on this side.
They're always putting me in our place.
Mhm. All right, so I'm being told you don't have any information on this case because it was recently indicted.
It was indicted fairly recently. We are attempting to reach out to the complainant to get contact to talk about the case.
Okay,
It's kind of in that weird holding pattern still, Judge.
all right, so you want to,
If we could have a short reset just to get more time to talk with them,
all right, what are you, how much time are you asking for?
2 to 3 weeks.
All
would
right.
be ideal.
All right. Caroline, can you put this case on October 17th?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused.
Okay, good. Merci. Maybe laminated handouts would be a good idea.
Hi, yes.
Judge, I just told the young lady that I would express her concerns to you. She was asking if her attorney could be switched because she hasn't been contacted.
Okay, well, just have her to remain in court.
Okay.
All
Do you
right,
Want me to?
yes, if you could stay, because she may need an attorney.
Okay, sure.
All right, do you know what she's charged with?
Assault against a security officer, Judge.
Assault against?
A security officer.
Okay, all right, if you could then confer with the state, and who is her attorney again?
Edward Barza, Judge.
All right. Can you see if you can contact him?
Sure.
I don't have any.
I can try contacting him to see if he wants to stay on the case, Judge. Are you going to appoint her office or do you want me to?
No, if he is not staying on the case, then I'll have you all appointed, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll check all the information.
All right, thank you.
Judge, my head is clearing out.
Deputy Mahia, you need to watch Ken Porsche. Yeah, I'm gonna say that every day too. You're like, okay, finally I'm gonna watch it. You know what I think? I think we as a group should go to Portugal and do that walk. Oh, how many miles is it? 80 miles or something? But I mean, you're not doing it in one day. Yeah, you travel so much per day. We need to start working on that.
Okay. Sounds great, but 80 miles?
I mean, I think it's actually more than 80 miles, but I mean, you can stop whenever you want to stop. Richard Garcia just posted me, just sent me a photo of the snail that he saw on the walk. Caroline. Dinah, here's the snail that Richard posted. It's giant size.
What do you call it when you cook it?
Oh, I don't eat that escargot.
Escargot.
Yes, that's a no for me. I'm a pass on that. So Richard said we need to make sure that we have walking sticks. But the photos he sent are so beautiful.
I wasn't sure if you could see it.
Oh, no. Virginia Center.
Where'd you go? Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How's it going? Hello.
Very good.
Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you for showing up.
Oh, hey, I'm always here.
Always good.
Yeah, yay.
I love her spunky
Do
attitude.
other people not show up?
Yeah,
You never know.
people that have to go to court, they
Oh,
don't take
okay.
it serious.
Oh, yeah. No,
They get a failure to appear or and some a constable's knocking on their door.
oh gosh, no.
No.
All right. So where are we on this case?
Judge, basically, we're coming before the court to set it for trial. We have been given an offer by the DA last sitting,
Okay.
and I talked to my client once again, and we are not inclined to take any type of offer. We just want to set it for trial. We do have an offer already conveyed to us, and discovery wise, I think we're good.
Okay.
So,
Who's the prosecutor?
I forget.
Is it criminal trial division? Is it Daniel or?
Oh, no, I didn't approach anybody this morning, but last time I gave you an offer. Virginia Cerna,
You want to talk to them?
very briefly.
All right, let's talk to them.
But
All right, have a
otherwise-
seat. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Oh, because Michael,
Uh-huh.
so if they were to offer Class C, it's like, we're not taking that.
I'm not taking that. No, that's-
Okay.
that's right.
All right. So if you'll talk to them and make sure that you do an acknowledgement of discovery, then I'll give you your trial date.
Okey-dokey.
All right. Thanks. Okay, Deputy Laura, the temperature in here is great today. And we have somebody zooming in from Zavala County. All right, who's the attorney on Angel Orozco? All right. Could you unmute, sir? All right, just one moment. We're going to set up the audio on this side because the audio on this side isn't good. Could you set that up, Deputy Laura?
Go ahead and talk, sir.
Yeah, just one moment. All right, could you say something now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Just give us a moment. We're going to get your attorney here, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in the waiting room. We're going to call your attorney, so let them know that we haven't spoken to you yet, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so don't leave. Okay, well, she needs to zoom in now. Let me. Okay. And see, I thought I had her number.
Virginia Samuel.
Hi, this is Judge Boyd. We're waiting for. Hi, how you doing? Ah, well, I'm good. Ah, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh my gosh. Well, I was told this is me. I had some emails that followed in from Savannah County. And so he's already on his way. All right, thank you. Sure. You too. Bye-bye. They tell me she's in Atascosa County.
Oh,
Yeah, but they're gonna call her and tell her to zoom in now.
okay, well, let me just.
Okay. All right, thank you. Yes.
Judge, I did call and leave a voicemail, but I wasn't able to speak to Mr. Garza.
Okay, if you, I know you have other courts to run to, but if you could wait for Miss Ferguson, she's on an elevator now.
Okay.
She may have a cell number.
Okay.
Does
Yes.
anyone have Ed Garza's cell number? Any of the attorneys? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Because I read the problem was lost. Um. Oh, sure, I will. Okay, but, well, she just won't really go home, and then I'm like, well, there's somebody else there. Okay. Okay, well, and I think, not there.
Hello, can you unmute, sir? All right, Miss Carrillo, I'm gonna open a breakout room
Yes, Your Honor.
and I will send you all to a breakout room.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. I sent you both to breakout room number 1.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. So, he's able to go.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Caroline.
We're gonna reach out. Just.
Yeah, we don't have the APS records now.
I just,
Okay, why don't you give us like 5 minutes? Here, we don't have those.
Genevieve Lopez, I started when I started.
Right.
So. So, I guess they like fighting. Don't have him. We got possible. I don't want all the same balance.
Hello.
Yeah, she said this is on the thing. My neighbor and I all it was. She's.
Yes, Mr. Garza called me back from his cell, Judge. He's fine with the public defenders taking the case, and he is also available if you'd like to call him back.
All right, so if you'll speak with Ms. Ferguson.
Okay.
The third? No, I think it's next. I think it's the next one.
Which one?
Judge.
Yes.
Person.
Hi, what same person? What?
Get it out of your mind.
Oh, okay. Oh, you all need to get it out of your mind. I'm done. I've already given it to 3 people.
If I tell you again.
No, I'm not gonna hear. I know you wouldn't do that, Jason, because you're kind.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm above that.
Nifa, if you could unmute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi.
I would like to talk to a prosecutor, please.
All right. Ms. Ferguson has your cell number, I believe, so a prosecutor will call you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Unless, is there a prosecutor who wants to appear on Zoom with her in a breakout room? Or you want to just call and speak to her? All right. So they will give you a phone call right now.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. So if you'll, I'll put you in breakout room number 2 so that you can speak with a prosecutor in private.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you. Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
On this case, did you speak to the prosecutor about the issue?
No. Not yet.
All right, if you'll speak to them and see if they have objections, which I don't think they will, and we'll take care of it.
So what, do you need the file? I think it's just. I don't know. We're ready when you are.
Okay, if you'll have her come up.
Come on up.
Hello, Miss Correa.
Judge Boyd,
Hi, how are you doing this morning?
good.
All right, so your attorney was retained, but my understanding is that you cannot afford to pay, but he wants to stay on your case. So do you have any objection to his being appointed to represent you?
No, sir, no, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And state you don't have any objection?
Oh, no.
All right. So I'll grant the motion so that he'll still be your attorney, all right?
All right.
All right, do you have any questions about anything?
Do you ask me questions if I'm competent?
Oh, no, that'll be another judge.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And then your attorney will file whatever motions he feels needs to be filed, but we'll take care of it as quickly as we can, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Um,
Judge.
How much time are you asking for, Mr. Delina?
Judge, we're gonna ask Judge Carruthers to have her reevaluated. I don't know how long that takes, so maybe in the 45-day range versus a regular reset.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this for 45 days, please?
Yeah.
And Ms. Carrillo, if everything is done before that time period, your attorney can always bring you back earlier, all right? If it's done before then, he can bring you back, request that he bring you back. All he has to do is come over to court and say, it's done. Can you put it on the docket? And we'll put you back on the docket immediately, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what date?
November 9th.
All right, so we're going to put you down for November 9th, but if everything works out sooner than that, your attorney can bring you back.
I think I'm competent, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Oh, and state, don't forget to call Nifa Carrillo. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
When he gets stuff, he like immediately brings it back up. I don't think he ever. So here's.
And Michael, are you ready on Cerna?
Yeah.
All right,
Oh. Well, I need to get the discovery down. We're about to get that.
okay.
Yeah, Marina's back.
Delina Glass. Delina Glass. Miguel Rios. Miguel Rios. Elizabeth Maciel.
First row, sir.
Elizabeth Maciel. Jennifer Cano.
Present, Your Honor. We're ready to approach.
All right, where is Ms. Cano? Come forward. All right, do you have the acknowledgement of discovery?
No, Your Honor, we're still waiting on APS records.
All right, how long is that going to take?
Your Honor, the last update we had was the previous court setting where they just told us they were behind. We tried to get an update this morning. We haven't heard back. We have still not received them. They were sent out. I know they were sent out previous to.
At the last setting, I saw Ms. Murphy send the email. At the last setting.
All right, is somebody subpoenaing those records?
Yes, they've been subpoenaed.
Okay. And other than that, what is left on discovery?
That's the major part, Your Honor.
No, is there anything? I know people saying that's the major part, but other than those records, is there anything else?
We have medical records from the complainant that we're going to be subpoenaing. We have the doctor's name now, and we're going to be sending a subpoena out to the doctor that took, it's a long story, Your Honor, but yes. We have.
All right, because we were waiting for medical records since August. So when is that going to be subpoenaed?
The medical records that, I thought we had gotten medical records.
We have additional medical records.
Okay, so the original medical records we've obtained, he's talking about additional records.
All right, so does he have those medical records?
I do not yet.
I don't know which one.
We
which
do- No,
I
records
mean-
he's referring to. The previous ones, yes.
All right, so what medical records are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for the complainant's medical records. It's, I can get into the facts of the case.
Well, I don't want you to get into the facts of the case. What specific
She-
because
She had previously, the complainant had previously seen a doctor for the condition of which she's complaining that my client caused.
Okay,
And so we're getting those medical records. And we've now gotten the name of the doctor. We had to do some investigation to find the name of the doctor. We have the name of the doctor. And now we're going to send a subpoena out to get that taken.
all right, so that subpoena needs to be sent out today.
That's right.
All right, so other than those medical records and the Adult Protective Services records, what else is outstanding?
That's it to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
There should be anything else. And I would anticipate the APS records should be in soon because they were requested.
Okay. All right, has an offer been tendered?
Can't recall. I don't think so, no.
All right, so at the next setting, an offer needs to be tendered. I'm not giving another reset for discovery. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset on Jennifer Cano, please. All right, we'll come back on October 31st. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes,
Sorry, Judge. Yeah, I talked to Nipa, we worked it out, so whenever you're ready, I guess we just need to get I don't know how y'all want to do that.
just do the paperwork.
Yeah,
All right, y'all want to do it and send it to her?
I don't know.
Yeah, because he's
I
in
can talk-
Zavala.
I can talk to my two younger.
Yes, they can do it, yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then. All right. All right, on Virginia Cerner. Okay. All right. Let me bring her out. All right, Virginia Cerner. So I have the acknowledgement of discovery.
So Judge, I was looking in my emails. I had emailed the detective in this case regarding a Bear County crime lab. They were comparing, it was the bullet the casing that was found at the scene to the gun.
All right, everyone, please whisper.
Sorry, Judge, that was found on the defendant. I last reached out to him back in late August, and he said that they were still going through to do the comparison. I reached out to him this morning and I haven't gotten a response back. That's
Okay.
what we're waiting on.
All right, just one moment. All right, so I'm assuming once you receive this information, then maybe this case, something different may occur. Is that correct?
Possibly, Judge.
All right, so Mr. DeLeon, this is a 2023 cases. I like to move cases quickly when everybody has everything. But as you know, there are some cases that are before you anyway. So even if I give you the jury trial date, 9 times out of 10, your case is not going to go because there are other cases before her case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all a 45-day reset.
Okay.
And you all can confer off docket if you find out some information. And we'll put it on the same date as your last.
It's a great idea.
All right. And that would be
Number 9.
November 9th.
And Judge, if we get the results back from the lab, we'll immediately let defense know.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Carrillo, I'm going to put you in breakout room. If you go back to breakout room number 1
Yes, Your Honor.
and obtain that information.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, here's here on Eros Rodriguez.
Hi.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Rodriguez. I'm doing great. So what is happening with this case?
Well, Judge, he was supposed to be here yesterday and I realized where he was. So I don't know, perhaps you could reconsider issuing that, recalling the judge's.
Oh, we've already did that.
Oh, you did that. Okay.
Yes. We
We're
move quickly.
we're conferring. Hank is having dialogue with his prosecutor. I do think there's a good possibility we may reach an out of court disposition. He's already being supervised on probation in another court, but Hank needs to visit with the complainant. So if we could come back in about 30 days. I'm sure we will.
Do you want 30 days or sooner?
30 days is, if that works for you, Judge, I'm playing phone tag with the complaining witness in this case. So I just like a little bit more time to see if I can get a hold of him.
All right, so because he's in custody, I'll give you a 30 days, but if it's done before 30 days, they'll bring you back before then. Okay? All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Eros Rodriguez? All right, so we'll bring you back on, is that Halloween? We'll bring you back on Halloween.
I'm in. You know what my Halloween costume is?
What?
One of them. I have several. It is an authentic game day, everything, head to toe. Texas Longhorn football uniform, pads, pants,
You're going all out.
gloves. May I?
Yes,
May I?
yes,
Okay.
that's awesome.
I better not.
So that's one uniform. What's the other? What's
You know,
the
this
other?
is the only setting I have. With your consent, I'll do it.
Yeah, sure, do it.
Oh gosh. So, okay. I have like
I
a,
don't know if they're gonna let you in with a helmet. You may want to call the
I brought it
deputies.
in before, believe it or not.
Oh, well, come on in.
Yeah. I have a Revolutionary War general one, long boots and everything. And then I have like a Jedi Knight one. So,
Somebody posted on Facebook that her
I'm
husband,
basic. I'm used to basic.
her husband got the lightsaber and the neighbor had one and they were out at all hours of the night playing with them.
Their swords.
Yes.
They make some that are very authentic and very expensive in the $1,500 range, but I've seen them. But
You know, I always know there's a debate and I like both, but of course, Star Trek over Star Wars for me.
I didn't get too deep into Star Trek, so I don't have enough information to answer.
Oh, you should
To be
start
fair.
with the original. And then
The
you can go
series
to
or the movie. The movies.
Oh, no. Start with the series.
Yeah. Now that I'm
The
familiar.
series is awesome.
It is.
I still always have a debate with people and I tell them, Mr. Spock should have been captain, not Captain Kirk. If you really think about it, Captain Kirk brought nothing to the table. He did not. I mean, of course, he was the ladies' man.
Like the ladies.
That's it.
He-
Spock was the one who would figure out everything.
Sex sales judge. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
He
Head
figured
sales.
out, yeah, Day of the Gun. He figured out how to trouble with tribbles. He figured out how to everything. He figured, and Spock would just, I mean, Captain Kirk would just come with the away team just so he could be there.
Spock's personality was a little too linear. There was like no, he was just like
Yeah, he was great.
smart.
Yeah,
And
he was.
he'll pinch you to death. So.
There you go. You need him.
Pinch. He has no idea what we're even talking about. Okay, whatever.
Oh, young people.
Yeah.
I need to put as part of their conditions of community
Watch Star
service,
Trek.
watch Star
Do it.
Trek. Because there were some great teachable moments in Star
Give
Trek.
him a quiz.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So if you all finish that before then, they'll bring you back before then. You understand?
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Hey, I'll let you know. when you got it.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I believe that the information is in the chat.
I don't have anything in the chat. If you sent it while you were in the breakout room, I would not receive it.
Okay, so I'll send it right now where.
All right. Thank
You
you.
can see it.
No, oh, that's from me. Yeah. Good morning. I don't know what's happening with the football season.
I know, it's gonna be a mad scramble, I believe.
And you know, LSU is always known for their defense. That last game, no, people are not playing that well. The defense is missing.
They'll be there at the end of the year. They have too many studs.
And then don't even talk to me about the New Orleans Saints. I mean, shouldn't you run the ball? You're trying to run down the clock. Run the ball. Nope. All right, Nifa, I have it.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and Nifa, if you'll go back into the breakout room with him, because sometimes they'll think it's over and the deputies will take them back.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And Norma, the defendant here, Bale, Mr. Bale, his attorney is Andrew Priest. He says he's not had any contact with him. So if you could call Mr. Priest and have him come over. Elizabeth Maciel. Delina Glass.
He's here, Judge. He's out here like at 9:04, 9:05.
This glass in the fresh.
Okay. And then Miguel Rios. Okay.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I have a file. This is a good spot, Judge.
Oh, sure. Well, not really. Is your client here?
He is not. It's set next Monday.
All right, that's a great spot.
My request was going to have it recalled for Tuesday. We've had an arraignment setting, one pretrial, and this next setting would technically be our third setting. I'm just asking it for it to be recalled to that Tuesday. I'm speaking to the state about a resolution.
Okay. So that would be October 3rd.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're in contact with your client to
I
let him
am.
know?
And he's on pretrial supervision.
All right, we'll recall it October 3rd.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and Joe Namath said he's seen enough of the New York Jets.
He's seen enough.
He said
Broadway
they,
show?
he said they need to clean house from top to bottom.
They try that every year.
Yeah, I still don't know why LSU went and obtained the Notre Dame coach.
It does seem to be a little cultural mismatch, but
Well, I mean, no, he's not bringing anything to the table. Either you're bringing a strong defense to the table or you're bringing a strong offense to the table. And honestly, right now, LSU's offense, I'm looking at it. I'm reading the report saying, oh, they're the best offense in the SEC. Don't know that because the team you were playing against,
mhm.
You know?
LSU should hire Jimbo and pay the rest of his contract, and then we can start him.
yeah.
Would you like for me to take that file back to the back office, Judge?
Oh, no, we can just leave it here.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
thank
I'll
you.
let
Have a
my
good
client-
one. All right, I have a file on Delina Glass. Okay. Oh, they're still conferring on that. All right, thanks.
But Mike, you still have some subpoenas out on this.
Hank and I are going to go for it. Everything else. There's an email. See. And then. That's first. So. You know, credit. He said, look, if you want to. That's free.
All right.
I'm receiving email that's, I was going back and forth, and then after that, I'll have to make sure we're talking about that. That's the rest of the time. That's it. That's not free. As promised, as promised. Oh, it's- they're calling it. It's not right, but it's a 37. Man, stripped me off her sheet so long ago. Now. I just. I know what I remember. All right, I'll finish. Thank you guys. Thank you. Listen.
I'm crazy. We have to tell you that. So that was.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Which hasn't seen it.
What?
We just had a moment of time whenever you're available.
Okay. I'm very interested now. I'm very available now. But David McCallum, the guy from Uncle passed. I used to watch The Man from Uncle with my grandmother. I love The Man from Uncle.
That is still an off.
Yeah, CDC. Yeah. Yeah, CDC. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, because each has to do something. No. We think it was. It was so, it's like one of the more odd things that. I've seen stuff. Professional.
I'm big now.
And it was someone else.
So red mass is coming upon us. Deputy Maciel, have you seen Ken Porsche? I'm gonna keep saying it. Finally, you're gonna be, why do I keep thinking of Ken Porsche? Then you're gonna see it. K-I-N-N. Yes. P-O-R-S-C-H-E.
Justice.
But you know, still I would say in the ranking of series, the first one is Vincenzo. Vincenzo. And then the next one is Ken Porsche. And you know, on, I think it's Peacock. I think they started that series Continental from John Wick. I haven't watched it. But here's the thing, you can't be upset because John Wick isn't in it. But I know you want John Wick. So if you, mind you, I'm in the twilight of my life, so I can't watch things that are not good because it's a waste of time. But knowing that John Wick is not in it and accepting that, did you find it to be good?
I haven't seen it. I saw the preview.
Oh.
How about?
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. It's John Wick. At least it wasn't water. Miguel Rios. All right, Mr. Rios, why were you late for court?
I was finding parking.
All right, so you were here, well, not here on December 6th, and we had an issue where you didn't show. If you are late again, if you do not show, we're going to have issues. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to time your parking. I know parking is a hassle downtown, but you need to build that into your time for getting here. You understand?
It won't be a problem.
All right. So where are we on this case?
Judge, state has made an offer, defense has made a counter offer, and state is going to mow that over. We're asking for one more setting. I think this is a first setting that I've been on.
Yes.
We're asking for one more setting, and I believe the next setting will have a resolution.
All right. Have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Judge.
How old are you, Mr. Rios?
24.
I'm sorry.
24.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, set this in 2 weeks for a plea deadline date. All right, so we're going to come back on October 10th. Is that good for you, counsel?
It will be if I'm gonna kill myself.
Oh, let's not do that.
It's just a very, very busy week. Is it possible to put on a Friday?
No. Let me see what we have here.
How about that following Monday, 16th,
Let me see the calendar.
even 17th? I should, even 17th, I'll be fine.
Are you able to do it October 9th?
Yes, yes.
No, are we able to put this on October 9th? All right, so we'll be back on October 9th. At that time, you need to let me know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. And the state needs to let you know whether or not they're accepting your counter offer.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right? All right, we'll see you then,
Thank you, Judge. Maybe excuse me, Judge.
after you sign the reset form.
Of course.
Yes. Okay, can you mute us? My mom's power may be restored and I want to see if it is. Have you already conferred with the state?
We've had he's applying for veterans work. We filled out the paperwork, we just haven't heard back from veterans.
Oh, let's call them to come down. Bashan. Oh, you see, this team is so great.
No, you're blessed.
I am, but you know, whenever you tell people you have a great team, then people start moving them around. Now, when people ask me how people are, I'm like, they're all right. They're all right. Yeah. So they get to stay here.
From Live County, he's here. Just been resetting my hands. Thursday. Thursday. So you'll bring him over from the jail? Yes. Okay, thank you. I thought we already got that. I think the first chair was absolutely. You can't stop the PSI.
Yeah, and I want to know that some information that we don't upstairs.
All right, Norma Elizondo. All right, today is the plea deadline date. Where are we?
Your Honor, well, there is still outstanding discovery on this case too.
All right, what discovery is outstanding?
So some medical records, I know that I need to pull it up exactly, but there's specific medical records that I requested. Hospital.
Judge, we've also made a counteroffer
Okay.
for a substantial amount of years, but that has to be cleared with upstairs. So we would also ask for a reset so we can see if we can negotiate something.
All
in this
right.
matter.
So specifically, for what records they might have at Kellum Medical Group,
Okay.
Santa Rosa Westover Hills, University Hospital and Center for Miracles. University Hospital and Center for Miracles should be quick, if not this week. I don't know what the status of Santa Rosa or Kellum is, but hopefully by the next setting we will have that.
All right, and so, and then you need approval for the defense's counteroffer?
The defense has given me a counter offer. I will, given the nature of this case, it'll have to be something that I run by upstairs. I don't know that that will be necessarily accepted, but I think we can, at least to communicate. It is a substantial number of years, and so I feel like it's a good faith counter offer. So I think we're getting closer.
All right, so I'm gonna give you all 30 days on that counteroffer. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, we're gonna come back on October 31st and state whoever's upstairs that you all need to talk to, let them know that the deadline for the court is October 31st.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Judge, we'll be excused.
Yes, you may be excused.
Yes. Oh, it's here. Right. Yeah. Like, and it was like the doc, because the doctor would make the call, like, okay, I just want these comments, and then we'd go and say, and then they would release the force of lines, and I don't know what it's.
Yes. Yes. No, I'll tell her, look up to him.
All right, Caroline, I just signed the discovery acknowledgement.
I feel like if you don't. Yeah. Well, we can. So you
So, I mean, yeah, I get it. That's why I do this right now. Around this space.
Yes.
All right, Victor Garcia. And I know even though this is an indictment number 2022, this is new to this court and fairly new.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so the first thing we had to do was have the evaluation for competency.
Yes.
And my understanding is he's deemed to be competent.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
But
Hmm.
I had to speak to Dr. Jumas, who did the competency.
Mhm.
Dr. Jumas's report reflects, and I didn't bring the file today because I'll be honest with you, I was confused, I guess, about what day this was set. He reported that as long as the client was on medications, then he would be competent.
Mhm.
So I asked him, what if he's not on medications? And he says that more likely than not, he was not competent.
Mhm.
The concern I have is, and why I'm approaching the court on this is, the way we do things now is you ask for competency. Once you get competent, then you can ask for sanity. And on this case, because of what he wrote, I was going to talk with my client. I believe I need to ask for a sanity evaluation on this.
All right.
And that's because of what Dr. Jumas indicated as to the situation with meds on that date. And my concern with my client being medicated on that date.
All right, and it's Dr. Jumas, I'm assuming will do the.
I don't know, Judge. I think I just make my motion and then Judge Carruthers gets it and they send it off. But I would assume he would.
Can we go off the record for a moment, please? And Caroline, I'll send you to the breakout room. All right, Norma, on Victor Garcia, can I have a setting in 45 days? They'll probably bring you back sooner than that. I've left a message with Dr. Jimis for you, counsel.
Thank you, Judge.
November 9th.
All right, so we're going to be back on November 9th. And Norma, if you can make sure you keep track, because that sanity evaluation should come back quickly.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna send in the system before they.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll see you then. Do you have any questions?
No, man.
All right, thank you so much. We'll see you back then.
So we've excused Judge.
Yes.
Okay.
And Caroline, I just got some more documents, so I'm signing them now. All right, who are the parties on Claude Cunningham? Vashon, this is an application for deferred adjudication. Donna, you ready? Court is calling 2023 CR 6375, State of Texas versus Claude Cunningham. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins to the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Gabriel Solis, Your Honor.
All right, are you Claude Cunningham? All right, I'm gonna need you to keep your voice up so the court reporter can hear.
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Cunningham, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Cunningham, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you
Yes, Your
sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a weapon in prohibited places? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Cunningham, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Off the record for a moment. Ms. Carrillo, after I finish this plea and your client is sworn in, I'll take your case up next.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. We're back on the record. Mr. Cunningham, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the fine is $1,000. The state recommends deferred adjudication, the MRT course, and your agreement to forfeit the handgun. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
I'm sorry?
Guilty.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
Any objections?
No objections, Your
All
Honor.
right, state, you can continue to confer. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony. Oh, before you leave, let me give this to you. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. Finding the guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, as far as sentencing, the only request we have, Your Honor, is that he's a resident of Corpus Christi, Texas, and if the
Okay.
court would consider transferring his probation to Nueces County.
All right, are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I'm a industrial firefighter, safety supervisor.
All right, I will tell you, I've been to the airports plenty of times. And when you're rolling your bag through, there's a big sign on the door, the sliding doors that says, check, make sure you have no weapons. So, and then honestly, I've read that if you let them know you have a weapon, there's a certain way that you can check it through.
Yes, Your Honor.
And just on a personal note, I went to the airport and they took my aloe vera, which you know how expensive that is. They took it, but you can check a gun. But my aloe vera is a bridge too far. So I understand, I read the report. I understand it was a mistake on your part. Sometimes people are packing in a hurry and they don't remember what they have. All right, do you have any children?
No.
Okay. This is what the court will do. Court is going to sentence you to $1,000 fine. That will be probated. I'll allow the transfer to Nueces County. Okay. Two years deferred adjudication. The MRT course. Actually, he needs a gun safety course. So I'm going to throw in a gun safety course.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
In addition.
Yes. Well, no, because I really don't think it's MRT type of thing. I think it's, people need to be aware what they have in their check bags. And people need to be more careful with guns.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, because if you would have brought that gun on the plane in a check bag, guess what happened? If something goes down on the plane and people are looking for things, they grab your bag. Oh, bullets are here, guns here, you know?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
So a gun safety course, there's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person,
Yes, Your Honor.
regular UAs, 200 hours of community service restitution, proof of employment within 30 days.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Probation, is there anything else he needs? All right, once you've completed everything, I'll consider early termination if there are no violations. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. Be careful with
Thank you.
guns.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Charles, you getting a reset on,
Carl Jones, Judge, they're here from, or they were here from Veterans Court. They said they're waiting for the VA to evaluate, to interview my client. And they thought that would be done no later than mid-October.
all right, Mr. Jones, come on up for me, please.
They suggested if possible, a November setting, where they hope to have everything processed by then. But it's simply waiting for the VA hospital to contact my client so he can be interviewed and evaluated.
All right. And so has VTC contacted the VA, or they're waiting for the VA to contact him?
They're waiting for the VA to contact him.
All right, so sometimes life is similar to when you're trying to get a job. My mom would always tell us, don't wait for them to call you, you
Right.
call them. So you may have to call them and just bug them.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so make sure you do that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a date in November on Mr. Jones? All right, so we'll be back on November 9th. And we'll need that update on VTC. And between now and then, you need to just be calling them every day. Trust me, they'll get tired of you calling them, and then they'll say, let's just bump him up to the top of the list.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you're excused once you sign the reset form.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, and Nifa, we're going to take up your person.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me see. I signed everything that was sent to me. Let me see if it came back.
I need to resend the certificate of appeal. They didn't sign that.
Okay.
Portion of it. Consent to plea by video, but they didn't do the second part.
All right, Nifa, I'm going to send, if you go back to the breakout room with your client, there's something that needs to be re-signed.
Okay.
And then Caroline, I just have the other packet and I'll sign that. And so then we'll go with Delina Glass and then Giancarlo Armstrong. And those are the only files I have. So if there's another file that should be up here, y'all need to ask the clerk. Yes, okay. All right, and Caroline, I've signed that. That's done. Bashan, this is an application. Court is calling 2023 CR 3548, State of Texas versus, how do you pronounce your first name? Delina. I've been mispronouncing it forever. State of Texas versus Delina Glass. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense.
Adrian Pettis.
And are you Miss Glass?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Glass, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are.
Ms. Glass, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Glass, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's a $2,000 fine, affirmative finding of deadly weapon. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution to Brianna, Brianna Brown. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 10 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Brianna Brown or the family of Brianna Brown. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State officer exhibit number 1 with all the attachments.
Any
No.
objection?
No objections.
All right. And state, have you had a chance to speak with the complainant?
Oh, we have, Your Honor.
All right. All right. You may continue to confer. Ms. Glass, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. Diana, I'm sorry, I'm going to slow it down. I just realized that. Stephanie, you're talking too fast.
Like, is it gonna be overnight or is this? Like, we try to talk to them?
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
I'd like to.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I just ask that you follow the agreement. Outside of the agreement, Judge, my client is indigent. Specifically, she's on disability. I'd ask the court to consider probate and fine in full or partially. In addition to probating some of the community service.
All right. Why were you late for court?
I had to bring an Uber down here and then I come from Universal City and the traffic was horrible.
All right.
She did text me this morning too, Judge.
All right. What is your disability for?
I've had 5 back surgeries, 2 knee surgeries, and ongoing autoimmune disorders.
All right. So I'm reading the police report. So it always appears that females want to fight over some boyfriend who could care less about either of them. So explain to me why you thought it was appropriate. Your daughter's ex-boyfriend's girlfriend is coming over to have a conversation with her. I say conversation loosely. And so your daughter calls her brother and says, hey, this girl is coming over. So instead of anybody saying, let's call the police, everybody's like, oh, she's coming over to start something. And the brother's like, well, I'm going to come over there to help in case there's any problem. Nobody thinks of calling the police. Then you get involved. You fire a shot. You could have killed her. And I'm reading this, the bullet went through a bedroom, went somewhere else. You could have killed some young child who's just at the apartment trying to enjoy his best life. And meanwhile, people who didn't raise their children appropriately are getting into a fight over some boy who's probably with another girl right now, who probably doesn't have employment and has nothing going for himself. Because if he did, he would not be dating girls fighting over him. So what were you thinking?
It was actually the young man's sister.
Yeah, but what were you thinking?
I was defending my daughter because she was 27 years old. and
So
my
you're
daughter
pulling
was
out a
16.
gun with a crowd of people. And I read the report, and what it says was your son was trying to pull you back. Other people were in between you and this person trying to de-escalate. and you escalate by pulling a gun. Did anybody pull a gun on you?
No, but I did know them to have weapons.
No. Did anybody pull a
No.
gun on you? So you're 2 steps away from being charged with murder and probably on trial for murder, looking at a life sentence where nobody's going to care whether you have a disability or not.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you're firing a gun, then putting it back in your waistband. People do watch too much TV where everybody wants to carry a gun in their waistband like this is Miami Vice or something.
Yes, ma'am.
You taught your children nothing on that day because guess what they're going to be thinking? Pull a gun. Guess what? It doesn't matter if there are 20 people around. It doesn't matter if we're in a crowded stairwell. Whoever gets shot, gets shot. And guess what? That bullet that went through somebody's apartment, because they say it went through somebody else's apartment who has nothing to do with nothing, their child, and we've had a case like that before, their child just standing in the kitchen, minding their own business, cooking, end up with a bullet in the brain splatter and brain matter all over the floor, and they have nothing to do with nothing. And then the defendant is up in here crying, which you would have been up in crying. I didn't mean to do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Pulling a weapon should not be somebody's first thought. You should have picked up the phone. And I understand that this started at a different complex, and then y'all took it to another complex. Everybody should have been calling the police.
Yes, ma'am.
People should not have been opening the doors. And if your son was coming over to help his sister, you know what he should have said? We're going to close this door. We're going to keep the door locked. We're going to call the police.
Yes, ma'am.
And that would have been the end of it. Now, guess what? You got a criminal case pending.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're going to be on deferred for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And you will forever be labeled as somebody who has a felony.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any underage children at your home?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
She's 17.
Okay. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 10 years deferred that's being asked for. There's a $2,000 fine that will be probated. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There's to be no contact with Brianna Brown or her family. And if Brianna Brown shows up to your daughters or shows up to your place because she still thinks she's got a great catch with this ex-boyfriend, you need to call the police.
Yes, ma'am.
$200 hours of community service restitution. Do you have any grandchildren?
Yes, I have 3.
And who's the parent of those?
My 26-year-old son.
All right. Do you ever babysit?
Yes, ma'am. 3 days a week.
All right. There's going to be parenting classes. I'm going to want regular UAs. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
All right. We're going to do a UA today. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Anger management classes. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. If everything works out with the field visits, then probation, you can do those as you see fit. And the MRT course. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Yes. Proof of disability or SSI within 2 months. If not provided, then proof of employment within 60 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Anything else, probation?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it goes without saying, you're not allowed to possess any weapon.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You shooting at her, almost killing other people who have nothing to do with nothing. She could have pulled a gun, and if your grandchildren are in that house and she wanted to fire a weapon and shoot, any one of your grandchildren could have been killed. And you know what? That would have been all on you. And you would have been on the news crying. You would have been in here crying, and everybody would have said, this is what you all brought to the doorstep.
Yes, sir.
So you're going to have to do better. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. John Carlo Armstrong.
Right, Judge.
Okay, let me see if I got it. I just got it. All right, it's been signed. You're welcome.
This is carry.
All right, NEPA, they're just going to swear your client in and then we'll take it up.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, are you all ready for this motion to revoke?
Yes, we are, Judge.
Yes, Judge.
You all talked with probation?
We have, Judge. Actually, this was I don't know if you recall, but this was a case from last week where we had an MTR, I think on Thursday,
Mhm.
and we essentially pled to the two new number ones, and then he went off to ISF.
Yeah.
That exact same day, SAPD walked a warrant for not changing his address.
Okay.
And so he ended up going through MAG on that day for that. We have an agreement today where he pleads true to this new number one,
Okay,
and they will reject the other case so that he can continue on to ISF cognitive skills.
okay, awesome. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 0686, State of Texas versus John Carlos Cisnero Armstrong. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
And Brian Powers for the defense, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Armstrong?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So he's actually on probation for attempted.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So with regard to the motion to revoke, are there any motions?
Yes, Your Honor. We were just going to go with violating condition number one.
That's
No.
true, but we are going to modify, Judge, and we agree to the stipulation to modify the charge from aggravated to attempted aggravated.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure. Any objection?
None from the state.
None from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. And you,
No objections, Your Honor. We have to change something in Mocha. That's where it's pulled from.
Okay.
So we need to just.
oh, okay. Oh, that's okay. We'll just remember to always change it. All right. Love and Mocha. All right. Are you the same John Carlos Cisnero Armstrong who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 0686 for the offense of attempted aggravated sexual assault on June 14, 2022 for a period of 8 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Violated condition number one, on or about the 14th day of August 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, John Carlos Cisnero Armstrong, committed the offense of violation of sex offender registration in violation of condition number one.
All right, how do you plead to that? True or not true?
I plead true, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation condition number one, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number one true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it's to continue the defendant to go to ISF. The state is going to take into consideration cause number CM 113260.
And that is the agreement, Your Honor.
All right, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will then find violation of number one true, deny the motion, alter amend conditions to include what was previously ordered, which was ISF cognitive, and taking consideration CM 113260. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. So, Mr. Armstrong, as you're aware, to be successful on probation in this court, communication is key. If there's an issue, let the court know. If you feel as though probation is not addressing that, you can always come into the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Nefa, can you bring your, well, let me see if I can move him to the main session.
Yes.
May I approach you?
Yes.
I was replaced on the Kevin. I was supposed to be in capital vouchers.
Yes. All right, so give me a second and I'll do this. Sure. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 10858, State of Texas versus Angel Orozco. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
Defense.
Gallegos Carrillo from Mr. Orozco.
And are you Mr. Orozco?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by Zoom because Mr. Orozco is in Zavala County. Mr. Orozco, did you review the document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
State, do you have any objections to the defendant appearing by Zoom?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any objection to your client appearing by Zoom?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Orozco, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Orozco, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of failure to stop and render aid in a moving vehicle? The range of punishment for that offense is up to a $5,000 fine and up to 1 year in Bexar County Jail or up to 5 years in the prison. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
My opinion, he is competent.
All right, and do you believe he was sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Orozco, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
State offers State Exhibit 1 in all attachments.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, state. Have you spoken to the complainant?
That I'd have to check, Judge. I
Okay.
wasn't willing to go.
All right. Mr. Orozco, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver.
We have
Okay. Mr. Orozco, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, my client just wishes to accept the responsibility for what occurred and put this behind him. And so we asked the court to honor the plea agreement.
All right. Court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be restitution, if any, to Joseph Roberto, and there's to be no contact with Joseph Roberto. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Mr. Orozco, next time, you wouldn't even have this case if you would have just stopped and called for aid, okay? All right, good luck to you. Thank you, Ms. Carrillo. And Mr.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Orozco, if you'll let them know in Zavala County that we've completed your sentencing.
Good luck to you.
All right. Bye-bye.
My bid,
Thank you,
Steve, Your
Miss-
Honor.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Carrillo. Have a great day.
You too, Your Honor.
Who's here on David Duenas? All right, what is happening on this case?
Judge, we were set today in the hopes that we were going to reach a plea agreement. We have not. And so that's why I'm asking the court if you would kindly take up our motion to modify his mod conditions.
Okay, let me find your motion.
Should have been-
Okay, I have it. Oh, this is in the wrong file. Just one second. Caroline. I probably put that in the wrong file. All right, so you're rejecting the plea? You need to speak up. All right, did you understand the plea? Okay. All right, are you ready to proceed on this motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 2677, State of Texas versus David Duenas. Could I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Defense?
Raymond Martinez for Mr. Duenas.
All right, defense is, and you're Mr. Duenas. All right, defense has filed a motion to modify bond restrictions. Defense?
Judge, we're asking to go from partial house arrest to tracking. As the court can see, the case has been on file for a good while. Mr. Duenas has been in compliance with all the bond conditions. He's had no contact with the complainant. One of the complainants is the mother of his child. He's also not had contact with his child because he can't have contact with the mother. He works in the car business, Judge. He's moving from one dealer to another. They're really close to each other. They're kind of aligned with each other, but it's a better job, better pay, more hours. His job sometimes entails him delivering vehicles to other cities of the state, Dallas, Houston, Abilene, Midland. But he can't do that on GPS because he's not allowed to travel, which costs him sales, which costs him money. He's also had incidents where late in the day, 8 or 9 o'clock at night, he's got a sale in progress, but his curfew's at 10, so he can't stay. And so he has to give that sale to somebody else and he loses that. So this is solely for purposes of him being able to function in his job.
Your Honor, we don't agree to that modification. This is a serious charge. Obviously, you know, we represent the victims who are scared. I don't know if the defendant knows where the victims live or
You want to
what
ask
that
him?
status is.
Do you know where the complainant lives?
I moved, I knew where she last lived, which is down Sugar, but we moved far by my job and I don't know where anyone lived. Never ran into him before all this, never saw him before all this, so.
So is it possible, state, that there's, because I don't want him to lose his job. Is it possible that there is a radius?
Maybe if we can block off maybe a part of town. Obviously, I don't want to give an address. If
Yeah,
he
no,
doesn't know.
just a part of town.
If to accommodate his work, if we could block off a portion of.
All right, so defense.
I'm sure he'll drive around whatever boundaries he has to drive.
No,
around.
I mean, but the problem is, I don't know what those boundaries are.
And I
So,
don't either.
so if you all will get together on what the boundaries are, it appears that the state will agree to your tracking as long as this boundary is set up. So if you all will get the boundaries, then the court will agree to tracking with those boundaries.
Judge, can I reapproach on that maybe later today or tomorrow, whenever we can get that done? and not have
If
to
you all
bring
want
it
to
back?
come back tomorrow, and Mr. Duenas, since you're working, you don't have to be here tomorrow. I've already made my ruling. My ruling is with state's agreement that there will be tracking, but they're going to provide a radius that he cannot approach.
Understood.
And then state, if you'll let the complainant know
Yes.
that this is what is going to happen.
And Judge, just so we're totally clear, I think there's 3 complainants, right?
There.
Although I think the biggest concern obviously was the one that he does know, which is the ex that he has a child with, but
Mhm.
we'll do it whatever way the state wants to set it up.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. So I'll get a new setting.
Just, you can just come tomorrow and let,
For the trial. on the
oh,
KCP.
just 1 second, Mr. Duenas, if you can come back. How long do you expect this trial to last?
At least 3 days, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a trial date? Mr. Martinez says that this trial should last 3 days. Okay.
Date on top of my head is December 4th.
December 4th.
Yes.
All right, December 4th, just sign the reset form.
Yes,
And then you all take that motion up.
we will.
This one. Who can send it to someone else? Thank you.
Maria, Castilla, and Lori Korea.
And Norma, we're recessing at 12. Who's there ever not here? They'll have to come on tomorrow.
They said they'll be here before 12. And Louis Martinez said he's second to 26 and they want to visit.
Yeah.
Can I send you a text message?
Oh, okay, I'll check it.
Yeah, 2009.
And what was your name? Korea. Yeah, we felt That's what the Lord Korea was on. And he said, "Jennifer, I'm ready."
All right, yeah. Wait, let me see the file on Perryman, please. And Norma, if you're okay for putting on that date, we can. Mr. Perryman, if you'll come forward, please. Your attorney can't be here today.
Okay.
So we're going to recall you for October 5th. Are you able to come back on the 5th? Do you work? Is that interfering with your work schedule?
No, no.
All right, so we're going to recall you on October 5th. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, then you're excused, and he just notified us, okay? All right.
Yeah, so one victim is interviewed, but. So we have one.
She'll give it to you over there. And Balcazar, that's not on the docket today, is it?
He didn't give me a case number.
Okay. Timothy Hernandez.
Your Honor, let me get my contact.
Well, first of all.
All right, Norma, Caroline, on this case, the judge.
You like him to come up there?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, we have,
All right. Mr. Hernandez, so there was a remand without bond listed for you because you didn't show. So you need to make sure that you always show for court, you understand? If there is an issue with your address changing, unless you put it on the system that your address has changed, your notices are going to go wherever your address is on file, you understand? All right, so what is happening with this case?
Judge, they've given us an offer, but we're requesting that the state review it for a pretrial diversion. And so we're hoping to get another reset so that we can get that evaluation.
All right, when are you expecting to get this reviewed? How long is it going to take?
just a short reset, Judge.
I mean, will it take 3 weeks, a month?
3 weeks would be great.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 3-week reset on Timothy Hernandez? It's for a PTD.
October 17th.
All right, we're going to be back on October 17th. And at that time, hopefully we'll have some idea whether or not you're going to be accepted into that program. All right, do you have any questions? All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay.
Elizabeth Maciel. All right, and Norma, see if you can get Rolando Arguelles here.
I'm not here.
That we know.
We haven't run a- he's updated NCSD feed.
All this time.
And if he was here.
Did you get her? But. We can do that and then. If the options.
Well, for what?
Oh, not a long time ago.
Yeah, no.
Today, I heard that was like. And so like that's all. Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
But you don't really get us too much time. She's got the thing.
I don't
No, we
know.
don't even need it.
Now we're in Buffalo, August. That might be-
Isaac Brandley.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah, so there's.
Oh, thank you. All right, so where are we on these cases?
Yes, Judge, just so that you know, Mr. Brantley has been a fugitive since late of 21. The prosecutors last had contact with the complainant in April of 22. So they want some time to see if they can find her again.
All right. So state.
Yes, Your Honor, just like counsel stated, the state would appreciate just a brief reset from one, maybe attempted final contact, given the last contact in April of this year.
All right, so
Last year, I apologize, Judge.
April of last year.
Yes, Judge.
I'm going to give you all 2 weeks.
That's perfect.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if I can have a 2-week reset on Mr. Brandley, please.
Thank you, Judge. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, October 10th. So we're going to be back on October 10th.
Thank you,
again,
Judge.
All right, thank
May we be
you.
excused?
Yes.
Let's see if she wants. She says- I don't have her cell phone.
What?
Because I would want you to get okay.
I will say for the record. I'm very good. No, no, it's not saying. I'm sorry. I'm saying even in this text, always the case. I'm good. That's very not make sure that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
You get it. You know what I'm thinking about it, or? Yeah, there's the other stuff. Yes.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks. Hey, great seeing you support.
October tenth?
Yes.
In the system already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any objections to that or not.
So, I mean, you can just run, if you mind, I just run.
Sure.
You're great. Which video?
Right, just for my son. Listen. It's been around. Two or three. Yeah.
Yes, okay.
He does have. Yeah, he does have things.
All right, I'm gonna set it for a hearing. Oh, okay, sure. All right. Enjoy.
It's an easy one. I'm dressed. On for sure.
If I not show up to court and I. Don't be like that's a start. No.
Can you sit on this one? So you won't have to do that.
An assistant. Actually, that is case. This phone.
I really feel like every month I get closer. I do have pimples at all. I got it, actually have pregnant from. Do the things. And it kind of goes, something goes, you're fine for now, but you can watch. And like your son's going. The weights of this muscle. Whatever muscle happens. Go. If I notice that this is too prominent. So I'm constantly just thinking that way. Time.
All years. Join a short time.
Oh, that is not good. That is not a good thing. It is a wild story. Did you talk about one? Yes. Yeah, I want to say in the same option.
Scary 2 weeks.
Is that when you came here?
Yep.
Oh.
Hello.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
We're getting a plea done on Mr. Espinoza. I was just wondering if you want us back after lunch or you want us to
Oh, no.
push the.
Go ahead and do the plea.
Perfect. I'm here.
Sure. All right. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay.
It's been real high. Asian. Thanks, Michael.
All right, I'm going to take a brief break. So you guys don't be conscious. Because you know how I always put it, and then it's something, putting it in a piece of paper is so dangerous. Because it's like, oh, let's throw this out. All right, and could I see the file for Orlando Arguelles? His client is, I think, Maciel. Maciel, that's his client. Thank you. All right. Orlando? Could you show your video, please? Oh, sorry. Rolando Arguelles. And see, I love pronouncing his last name because he said I pronounced it appropriately.
Yes, Judge, you do.
Thank you. All right, your client still didn't appear.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, can you all make an announcement to see if she's here? Court is calling 2023 CR 5382A, State of Texas versus Elizabeth Maciel. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense.
Orlando Arguelles for the defense.
State, do you have any objections to Mr. Arguelles appearing by video?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, the court will note for the record that this case was actually called on September 25th, 2023, and the defendant was a no-show at 9:21 a.m. and the defendant did not show throughout court. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement for the defendant?
Your Honor, there's someone in the hallway.
All right, defense, have you had a chance to get in touch with your client?
Yes, Your Honor. Defense called Ms. Maciel several times, reminded of her court on Friday, yesterday again, and this morning, and nothing.
All right, so she's aware of her court hearing today.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Your Honor, the state asked for bond forfeiture.
All right, and Mr. Arguelles, do you know if she has any medical reason or even any reason why she is not appearing?
All I know, Your Honor, is that she is currently pregnant.
All right, so did she give you doctor's notice for a reason why she couldn't be here or inform you why she could not appear?
She did not, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will have to issue a
Bond forfeiture, Judge.
a bond forfeiture at the state's request.
Thank you, Your Honor. If she does appear, I will let the court know and I'll let Mr. Hank know and we'll bring her to court to conclude this matter.
All right, so the court is going to issue a bond forfeiture and remand your client without bond.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Oh, sorry. Thank you. All right, who's here on Madrigal?
Morning.
Good morning. Where are we on this birth certificate?
Judge, if the court would recall last time, the court had me call the US senators, the state senator and the state representative. His mother has been in contact with the senator's office. They told them it'll be 2 to 3 weeks.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, recall this in 30 days. That gives you a full month to get this. And after that, we're done. The court is done with the birth certificate.
Thank you. Thank you. Judge. We appreciate
All right, so we're going to be back on October 31st.
it. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Okay.
Roberto Maldonado.
She's present, counsel.
All right, if you come forward, Mr. Maldonado.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, and I believe this is Criminal Trial Division,
No, it's no allowance.
Family Violence. All right, so I see that you all have all the discovery.
We do, Judge.
Okay. And has an offer been tendered?
There was a previous offer, there's a new offer.
Okay.
We'd like to discuss it. So if we can get a plea deadline dates.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 3-week reset for a plea deadline date. All right, we'll come back on October 17th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Nicholas Ramos. All right, so where are we on the unindicted cases?
So Judge, 2 more of them have been indicted. I think the other ones are still in the process. State made an offer to defense made a counter offer, so we're just asking for a little bit of time to consider it.
Okay. State, how much time do you need?
2 to 3 weeks, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this in 3 weeks? Is that good?
Yes, Judge.
All right. All right, we'll come back on October 17th, and at that time, the state will let you know whether or not they're accepting your counter offer.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Excuse me, Mr. Ramos, is your client going to be getting out of jail?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right, thanks. Cornelius Cox. All right. Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
if you could see if you could get Mr. Cox here.
He was here.
Okay. And then I know they're doing plea paperwork. I just need take a 5-minute break to call home real quick in Shreveport. Rashawn? Do you know about this? Norma, I'm so glad that I gave you my full calendar and had you put it on the calendar. So now I can look at it and see what I have here.
Did you get my email?
Yes, I did. And I'm going to talk to you about that.
Okay, and I'm gonna send you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, she was, but I don't understand that. If they are asking that she not have any device because she needs to have a device.
No, I think we just, that when she, she had that. So since she's on probation, they can take it off.
Okay.
Right, she has 30 days. Right. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. See what you guys directed. Oh, I believe. Did you get it? Oh, right. I don't know. I mean, I don't if I didn't.
See, this is what I mean about communication being key, right? All right, and he didn't staple this.
Right. Well, no, because the other thing is- But generally, that's, yeah. Um, there's lots of options. I think it's perfectly fine. Oh, yes. Yep. No, she was just like, oh, which one? The GPS? No, I mean, I'm fine with waiving fees on it. Okay.
That's the question.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of options. I'm all about it. So. Like I said yesterday. That's just the. That was. It is. It's two different things are. Stipulation. Basically. We are waiting on Cheryl and so. Other one, yeah. And then we started out with this. But it's not. It'd be the same. How about it?
Norma, how long do you think our docket is on Thursday? All right, because I'm going to talk to you because I need to send them a message about my availability, so I speak. All right, Joshua Espinoza. And Norma, if you could call Mr. Cox, please. All right, thank you. Court is calling 2023 CR 5393. State of Texas versus Joshua Espinoza. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense.
Brandon Lopez for Mr. Espinosa.
And are you Mr. Espinoza?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Okay. I thought you were going to say we have not.
I'll just say we have, and then I just stopped.
All right, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Espinoza, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication. It's deferred adjudication or community supervision. But if the state is proceeding on the charge as indicted, you're not eligible for community supervision. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And did you sign this document and understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do waive the reading, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We aren't, Judge. We're proceeding with the lesser included charge of robbery.
Okay. And the enhancement?
Your Honor, we're waiting.
Any objection?
There's no objection to either, Your Honor.
Mr. Espinoza, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of robbery? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Oh, I need that back. I'm sorry.
You have to show the way around.
I thought you all were agreeing to a set time. All right. Did you understand the range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea, and gives you more than you bargained for, they'll be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses, the call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, is he just applying for regular probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
In my opinion, he is, Your Honor.
Mr. Espinoza, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you into this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the offense of robbery. Punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison, and they are remaining silent on your application. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
It is, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the lesser included offense of robbery, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
State offer, state exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Espinoza, I'm showing you what's entitled wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you asking for a PSI?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. We're going to come back on November 9th. And at that time, I'll make a decision on your application. It'll be based upon any evidence that's presented to me in the PSI report. Is there a TAP evaluation needed as well?
Your Honor, most likely.
Okay.
There's also, I don't know if the court's able to, a mental health evaluation.
All right. Probation, we're going to need a PSI, TAP evaluation, and MIC evaluation. All right. Is there anything else?
Nothing further.
All right. We will see you then. All right. So everyone, we are done for today, and we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m.